moderator for the panel discussion, we have Mr. Pradeep Kumar Shrestha, Managing Director, Panchakanya Group and Vice President, Confederation of Asia Pacific Chamber of Commerce and Industries. Mr. Shrestha is a renowned leader and entrepreneur in Nepal and is recognized nationally and internationally for his entrepreneurship. Engaged in social issues and causes, he serves as Honorary Consul of South Africa and contributes to regional cooperation and education. We would like to welcome you here. Thank you for your presence. And as our panelist, I would like to introduce our panel speakers. We have Mr. Krishna Bahadur Raut, Secretary of the Ministry for Industry, Commerce and Supplies. As our panel speaker, we have Mr. Anjan Shrestha here with us, who is the Executive Director of the Lakshmi Group, a leading business group engaged in manufacturing, trading, and hospitality services. He is the Senior Vice President of the Federation of Nepalese Chamber of Commerce and Industry, FNCCI, where he has been active for almost 2 decades now. He also serves as a board member at the Special Economic Zone Authority, Government of Nepal. I would like to welcome you. Another panel speaker we have on the dais, Mr. Harkirat Singh Bedi, Business Head, Dabur, Nepal and Myanmar, who is a seasoned professional in the FMCG industry, having worked across product categories and geographies. He has also served as an executive committee member in Nepal-India Chamber of Commerce and Industries. Ladies and gentlemen, as another expert panel speaker, I would like to introduce Ms. Vidushi Rana, who is here with us on the dais. Ms. Vidushi Rana is Executive Director at Universal Group, is an entrepreneur renowned for revitalizing Gold Star shoes. With a background in business administration and banking, she has successfully restored the brand's legacy, as we all are aware of. Rana advocates for gender equality and women empowerment, leading Gold Star shoes to excel in import, substitution, and export promotion. An honor to have you, ma'am. Thank you. As another expert panel speaker, ladies and gentlemen, we have Mr. Binod Kumar Anand Janeja, Vice President of SAARC Chamber of Commerce and Industry and National Executive Committee member of FICCI. Dr. Janeja is a banking professional with 3 decades of experience in international banking, foreign exchange, syndication, and marketing. He is an active member of several business organizations, including the National Executive Committee member of Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, All India Association of Industries, Confederation of Indian Industry, and SAARC Chamber of Commerce and Industries. I would like to welcome you on the dais. Ladies and gentlemen, moving forward, I would also like to introduce our presenter who is going to present about manufacturing industry today. We have Mr. Hari Bhakta Sharma with us on the dais today. Mr. Sharma is Executive Director of Deurali Janta Pharmaceuticals Private Limited and is a prominent figure in Nepal's pharmaceutical industry. With over 33 years of experience, he has led the company to success with strong management practices. Mr. Sharma is also a board member of the Nepal Investment Board. Thank you, sir, for being here. And before we move ahead with our presentation and panel discussion, I have a quick announcement to make, and I kindly request our team to be ready with the required ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, Department of Industry is going to implement the automatic route for the approval of FDI from today. Today, yes, a moment of pride for all of us. Today, Honorable Minister Damodar Bhandari, Ministry of Commerce and Supplies, is going to inaugurate the program at this particular hall. Similarly, Honorable Minister will provide the FDI approval letter to 4 investors amounting to Nepali rupees approximately 9.5 billion. And we'll be happy to have your presence and support for this ceremony. And I hope our team is ready with the required procedure. I will be naming the investor company, the objective, and the investment amount. And I would be requesting the representative from the particular investor company to kindly be here with us. Starting with the first investor, Mrs. Shusan Hu from China. And we have representative Basanta Parazuli here. The major objective of this investment is the establishment of investment company, and the investment is Nepali rupees 6 billion. Let's have a huge round of applause for this. We have Representative Basanta Parazuli. And we have another investment which objective is construction and operation of business complex. And to represent the investor company SNJG Investments Private Limited, Australia, may I please request the representative Mohan Krishna Shrestha to kindly be here with us. And the investment amount is Nepali rupees 3 billion. And I would like to request a representative from Kalius Energy Limited, UK, whose objective is hydropower projects 200 kilowatt, and the investment is worth Nepali rupees 65 million. We have Ms. Lejula Maharjan over here. Lejula Maharjan over here. Ms. Lejula Maharjan representing Kalius Energy Limited, UK. With this, we would like to congratulate all of us for this historic moment and congratulate our minister. Thank you so much, everyone, for this amazing initiation. And thank you, our honorable minister. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I would like to invite on the stage our respected presenter, Mr. Hari Bhakta Sharma, for his presentation with a huge round of applause.
Thank you, the program conductor, master of ceremony, honorable minister, distinguished panelists, delegates, investors, industrialists, ladies and gentlemen. I would, on behalf of the private sector of Nepal, would give you a brief presentation on how and what type of opportunities you probably would be able to grab by investing in enterprises which are very active in Nepal. And we think that the type of technology and the type of, I don't know whether it works from here. Does it work? Actually, heर्नुस् त भाइ. Yes. Thank you. So I'll give you a brief about what type of statistics you would be coming to see in Nepal. See, our GDP is roughly about $40.5 billion, having majority of the GDP coming from agriculture, and then from industry it is one of the lowest. If you see that, our industrial contribution in GDP is less than 5%. That is the reason there is an opportunity in manufacturing. If there is a very small percentage of contribution in GDP from the manufacturing sector, the opportunities are huge. Our export to GDP ratio is very low in South Asia, whereas our import to GDP is very high. Around 41.4% of our GDP comes from import activities. That means business. So trade to GDP ratio comes roughly to around 49%. And if you look into that, the real GDP growth for last year was around 4.2%, whereas the government has expected the GDP to grow by around 5 to 6% for this particular fiscal year. And then let us see what is the type of domestic saving we have in terms of our GDP. So the domestic saving is relatively very good. 6.4% of the GDP is our domestic saving each year. So which is considered to be fairly good in an economy like Nepal. So I would suggest the investors to look into why you should come and work with us. Number one, it is growing very rapidly. I have been in the business for almost 33 years. And if you look into the trajectory of growth, Nepal's economy had rapidly grown in last 2 decades. Especially, the growth had been phenomenal. Our initial growth during 90s was one of the strongest, but later in last 2 decades, about 20 years, I think the growth of the economy had been substantially going higher. The reason is improved remittance. As I showed you in the earlier slide, the remittance is very, very robust as of now. At least 4 million people do send remittance regularly to the country who are working in different labor markets, including people who are also working in most of the developed markets in the Western world. And then the increasing income has improved also the education level of the people, because in our country, parents spend a lot of money for educating children. You will be surprised, we are some of the top countries sending students to United States, to Australia, to UK, to you name any countries, whether it is to China, to Bangladesh, any countries you name, any good academia, you will find students going from Nepal on those universities, and some of them are paying fees, and some of them are studying on scholarships. And then our remittance, as I said, is one of the very strongest in the region, and Nepal is a virgin market because our contribution to GDP from industries is less than 5% as of now. Of course, we were having about 13% of contribution from industries about 25 years ago. It gradually came down because of the different reasons. Nepal had suffered a little bit due to the political instability. We had a change in political systems in the last 3 decades. Multiple times Nepal had faced many challenges, including one of the deadliest earthquake that we faced about 8 years ago. So if you produce something in Nepal, there is less competition within, and then the profitability is higher. If you ask me, we have some of the very successful entrepreneurs here on this dais. If you see them, they are doing good. One of the companies, for example, Unilever in Nepal, came around 30 years ago. Their investment was roughly about 92 million rupees. Nepalese rupees, around 30 years ago. And today, if you look into the market capitalization of Unilever is roughly about 40,000% higher than the investment initially been done. And it is phenomenal. The dividend distributed by this company for last fiscal year is around 1,580%. Which is exceptionally very high. If you look into how much Unilever distributes profit globally, in last 5 years' time, I have seen their data, it is roughly between 3 to 5% of the dividend globally, and Nepal is distributing in last 3 to 5 years around 1,100%. So the profitability for any company with good technology, excellence in business management, and good product portfolio is extremely good in Nepal, and Nepal had helped companies to grow. And if you ask some of them, they are privately held companies. When you have an opportunity to question them, probably you would be happy to hear how they are performing in their business. So my suggestion to all of you is government of Nepal has very proactively tried to improve the regulatory mechanisms in the country, and yesterday only the Right Honorable President has enacted through the ordinance a change in various 8 acts where the facilitation for investment is broadly covered, and we anticipate that the reform is a continuous process. We have requested the government to bring the second generation of regulatory reforms for making our industries, our investment more competitive and sustainable, because sustaining business is one of the most important challenges we face in least developed countries, which Nepal is one of them. And then if you look into how government is trying to improve the investment potential in the country, it is investing in industrial infrastructure. There are different industrial districts being planned. Of course, we had a hibernation of at least 2 decades when we did not invested in any new industrial districts. Now they are coming in, and they are making SEZs. The access roads to these properties had been improved. Government is spending a lot of resources for that. Kathmandu will be connected with fast track in future. Couple of years from now, there will be an easy access to our plainland in southern part of Nepal. And we also have good power generation, and it is growing hydropower generation. That means the quality of the electricity that is available to the industry will be better, and the cost will be competitive. We are hopeful that when the growth of generation is going to increase, the local industries will get benefit on that. And once we complete that threshold of producing around another 5,000 megawatts, which a lot of companies are in pipeline. The Nepal's electricity market will be one of the best in South Asia, and we hopefully would take advantage from that for manufacturing sector. And some of the opportunity areas are assembling industries, consumer durables, electronic appliances. You all know it, passenger vehicles, EVs are going to be the future opportunities in Nepal. Nepal is a mid-sized market with 30 million people and growing income because of the remittance, because of the changing academic quality of the people, because our people are trained in some of the most successful universities in the world, and Nepal is prepared. So you can think about two-wheeler businesses, refrigerators, TV sets, assembling is going to work in future, washing machines, air conditioners. I have visited most of our city area and rural area in Nepal, and now I can see that households are having TV sets, having washing machines, which we never thought these houses would be able to afford that. And there is electricity, so consumption of those materials is going high. And another potential which government is very actively considering is assembling of mobile phones, kitchen stoves, water heaters, whatnot. There are multiple opportunities. If you have the brand capability, then you can come into those areas. And another opportunity for Nepal is agriculture. We all know it. This has been deliberated many times, even during this particular summit. We have food production possibilities. We have processing opportunities. We have organic gingers, Nepali peppers, Nepali honey, which is very, very popular. Of course, there is an opportunity to scale up. I think Dabur is doing one of that job. Dabur honey is one of the products being very popular in South Asia, which they produce in Nepal. And a lot of other small companies are producing those type of honey. And many of you probably would come and realize that if you have the technology, the marketing muscle, and the strength to invest, there will be opportunities in that. And another field where Nepal is doing very good is medicinal herbs, aromatic plants, and you can also process, you can also farm, you can collect that from the natural sources as well. Nepal is having some potential for organic tea, coffee processing. It is just taking up. For your information, Nepal probably can provide about 15,000 metric ton of processed tea for export markets, and Nepal is preparing itself for some of the global companies to come and tap that particular market. And herbal product, herbal cosmetics, pharmaceuticals are some of the areas where companies can invest. And then if you look into light manufacturing, Nepal is having a lot of potential. For example, footwears. Bidusi is from that sector. And you will be surprised, she is a very strong lady managing manufacturing company with hundreds of people working under her every day and producing some of the best brands that is not only given to Nepalese market but also exported to many other markets. And you will also see that FMCG production is going high because the consumption rate and consumables are improving here in Nepal. If you go to any markets, you will see that Nepal produces third largest quantity of black cardamom. You can think about bringing technology, investing in Nepal and process that to cardamom oil, to oleoresin level. You can go on further processing because the raw material is available easily. We are the third largest producer. And lemongrass, rose oil, mentha oil, there are too many areas of opportunities. And I come from biopharmaceutical sector. I produce pharmaceutical products in Nepal. Biotechnology is taking up. And interestingly, one of the vaccine company produces in Nepal and exports to very lucrative markets for animal vaccines, chicken vaccines. So this is also an upcoming area with a lot of opportunities. So I will not take your very long time because there are woolen carpet, handicrafts. If you see outside, you will see a lot of those Nepali-made products, which are very interesting for all of you to scale up, to take those products for markets to global consumers. And if you look into some of the statues that they are producing in one of the area in Patan, it is one of the exotic one. Many of our friends who come from outside Nepal and many other parts of the world, they always enjoy those type of things. Nepal is having potential for dairy, chocolate, biscuits, whatnot. So my interest to give you all that is to give you an idea on where you can invest. I would ask you where not to invest. There is much bigger potential. You can invest in any sector. And my suggestion is try to forge joint venture partnership with your local partners. That makes your business more sustainable and profitable, and for a long-term profitability. I gave you some of the best examples because many joint venture partners who came to Nepal for manufacturing had been enjoying very good portfolio. Their profitability ratio is one of the best. For example, a couple of years ago, one of the bank which invested in Nepal had the highest rate of return on investment for almost 15 years, in spite of Nepal's economy not doing good, but their rate of return was one of the best. So you have to see where you want to work with Nepalese enterprises, Nepalese organizations. Some of them are here. You can connect with us. So in fact, this presentation is to give you some idea on what are the type of flavors we can give in Nepal, and to whet your idea, to generate some interest in some of you who are really interested and keen to invest in Nepal. This is what I would like to conclude, and if there is an opportunity to have some questions in future when the moderator will do that, we'll try to give you further information. Thank you very much.
Thank you for a very insightful presentation. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we will proceed towards our panel discussion. And may I please request our panel moderator, Mr. Pradeep Kumar Shrestha, to kindly proceed. Thank you.
Honorable Minister, who is going to be the chair of this session, the distinguished panelists, our secretary from the Ministry of Industries, Commerce and Supplies, of course our presenter Haribhaktaji, distinguished participants, of course my friend from India, Vijayji, the Vice President of SAARC Chamber of Commerce and Industry. It's indeed a great pleasure for me to be a moderator. But to be a moderator, I cannot be modest always, because I have to manage the time. So I hope everybody will understand that and cooperate. We were supposed to start little on time, but we did start. But the time we have taken already is 30 minutes gone. So we have 60 minutes. So we have 5 panelists, and of course there will be a QA also, and of course our Minister, Honorable Minister, will be also sharing his views. And as a moderator, I think many of you may not be knowing me. Who am I? I am, of course, a businessman. I've been the president of the Federation of Nepali Chamber of Commerce 22 years back. And I was also the vice president of SAARC Chamber and the managing director of Panchakanya Group of Industries. And now also I am the vice president of the CASI. CASI is a confederation of Asia Pacific Chamber of Commerce and Industry, which is vice president of 28 countries now. And it's really a great opportunity to be here and to be entrusted with the job of moderator. And I think Mr. Haribhakta has already shared so many things that, and of course the MC also covered so many things, that I thought I had to be also introducing the panelists, and half of the work is already done. Thank you, or MC also. And Haribhakta has really touched so many points that I'm sure our friends listening in the front will understand, And yesterday during the inauguration, I am sure you have heard from the Right Honorable Prime Minister, the Minister, of course Finance Minister, and the head of the Business Association, and of course the friends, well-wishers of Nepal has spoken so much about the investment opportunities in Nepal. Of course, the opportunities are there unless you go after it is not going to knock the door for you. And I think this is the right time to look into it and harness the opportunity that Nepal is, exhibiting. And I think you have heard from every minister, I think all the speakers in the last couple of panel in the discussions. Everybody has talked so much about the investment opportunities in Nepal. No doubt Nepal has a lot of investment opportunities, be it in hydro, be it in agriculture, be it in tourism, be it in utility sectors, and minings and minerals. There are parts of it. But that's, keeping things aside, the friends here in front of me should know how the government is taking today, especially our honorable minister who is here. He is a very positive mind, with very positive mindset. He is working with us. Of course, the secretary is also here with us. The way they have given us the message, that, and I think we have to really congratulate those. I think we have signed 3 MOUs today. That's in a couple of billions, and that's a good sign. And in addition to that, a lot of the acts, laws are getting changed for a better way. And right on, honorable President also signed the ordinances, and that also reflects how serious the government is in working with the investors. And I always say that this country, as a country, this is like it's a lot of opportunities. Like when you say sandwich, when you say sandwich, not only the 2 breads, there is cream in the sandwich, or the cheese in the sandwich, and I think the cheese is the opportunity that Nepal can explore. And after, when Haribhakta shared the facts, how, like, for example, my friend, Bediji, who has been here in Nepal for last maybe close to 1 decade, and the way they have expanded, Dabur Nepal, it's one very good example you will be listening from him today. And of course, there are companies like Encel, the Sure Tobacco, and of course, another company like Unilever. The dividend they are taking is in 1000%. So that spells out, if you come out with the good ideas, good project, the return is guaranteed, of course. But of course, it's not that it's a smooth flowing river. It has to lash and dash against many boulders of obstruction, and you have to face it. It's not that business is very easy. I know there are a lot of constants in this country. Of course, the bureaucracy hurdles are there, government, the instability is there, the infrastructure problems are there. Nevertheless, these are all can be sorted out. I think the way the Prime Minister has been saying that, today, I think, because he's been the Prime Minister for the 3rd time, and I think the way he's been committed for the development of this country is going to be a very good example. And I request all my friends coming from outside to look into the investment opportunities, and we are there to be a part of it. Like my friend Anjan, who is the Senior Vice President of FNCCI, I'm sure he's going to spell out some of the things. Without taking much of the time, I just want to share, I will be sharing partly later on but now going ahead with the panel discussion. So we have 5 panelists. So let me tell you how we are going to manage this. Of course, there are a number of questions, but I don't think I'll be able to question everything. So I will be limiting them with a couple of minutes. The 5 panelists will be getting minimum or minimum two questions at least. If possible, then I will extend, and I'll also leave some time for the QA from the audience. And I think unless you have a good audience or listening audience, it doesn't make no sense having all this type of the discussion on the table. So now I will like to go with the questions. And as I told that as a moderator, I will be moderating, but I don't expect me to be too modest. When the time is exceeding my limits, and then I'm going to knock, and that is a sign of your closing your words. So that is the way I think that can be managed. So I have made some few questions. First, of course, let me start with the most interesting. Of course, Mr. Harirat Singh Bedi. As you know, he is the chair, he's been the main person, CEO of Dabur Nepal, and he has been so influential, he's so popular in the country that nobody likes to miss him, So the questions to him, of course, is just I'll just put this question, Mr. Bedi. What are some of the major changes that Dabur has experienced in Nepal since its inception several decades ago? And how has Dabur adapted to these changes? In the same, I'd just like to also add, the Industrial Enterprise Act provides several incentives for the manufacturing industries. And how effective have IEA and other government policies been in spurring growth in the manufacturing industry? Mr. Bedi, please, from there.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you, Pradeep ji, for your kind words. Dabur has been in Nepal over the last 30 years. And I think most of the people here would know that in Nepal over the last 30 years, we have seen significant changes in the political spectrum, the economic spectrum, sociological spectrum, in terms of technology, in terms of the legal and regulatory framework, and lastly, I think in the environmental space. So I just want to say that there has been a whole lot of changes. I don't want to enumerate the changes in each sector because that would take a lot of time, but I think all of us know here how Nepal has evolved over the last 30 years. Dabur has responded to these changes, I think, in a very nimble and agile way. It's an increasingly volatile, uncertain, complex and ambiguous world, what they call the VUCA world now. And I think we have been very speedy in responding to the changes. As an organization, we have become more customer-centric, focusing more on customer development. I think quality has become the cornerstone of our operations. In terms of technology, we are investing in newer technologies. We are moving towards greater automation. We are moving towards greater digitization, and also spending a lot of resources on innovation. And again, to address the legal piece, I think we are continuously reviewing and strengthening our processes so that, we are 100% compliant. So we don't want to leave any stone unturned in terms of, the legal and regulatory framework of the country. And lastly, as the world is getting more and more environmentally conscious, we as an organization are also trying to move to renewable energies, moving to bio-briquettes, trying to explore the solar option. So a number of initiatives have been taken in terms of the entire ESG framework, environmental and social governance. So this is how, we are as an organization responding to the changes in the immediate operating environment. Going to the second question, which was on the Industrial Enterprise Act. What I want to say is regarding investment is that first, for most investors, there has to be a good story and a very compelling case to invest. Once that is in place, I think most investors then look at the physical aspects of investing. So they are looking at land, they are looking at connectivity, they are looking at energy or electricity, and they're looking at the overall physical infrastructure, which could be like ports and other mechanisms. So when incentives basically come at the third phase. If these first two phases are reasons are very strong and the conditions are suitable, then you come to the third phase, which is in terms of the incentives. I think incentives per se will never drive investment. There have to be other stronger reasons to drive investment. But yes, incentives are enablers. They are the cherry on the top. So I think as an organization, we are grateful for the kind of incentives that we have got in terms of being a special industry, in terms of getting incentives for employing more than 500 people, in terms of getting incentives for employing Nepalese locals. We've got good incentives for our exports business, and the other facilities of duty drawback bank guarantees. So definitely the incentives have worked. All I urge is that going forward, we streamline the whole incentive piece a little more, so that the benefits that we get are quicker, and the process becomes a less cumbersome, less tedious, and more simplified. That's what I have to say.
Thank you, Mr. Bedi, for your answer. Now, actually, I was thinking that first I will let our secretary from our industry commerce, but I thought then it will be better, like after hearing from all of them, then he would be answering. That will be, I think, a little better. So now I'm going to Vidushi Rana. She is, of course, ED of the Universal Group, very promising businesswoman. So the question goes to you like this. What are some of the challenges that the manufacturing industries like Gold Star faces in Nepal, and what type of financial and non-financial policies from the government of Nepal would help Gold Star scale its operation and increase its export?
Thank you for the question. Respected Honorable Minister, Secretary, and everybody present in this room today. So when we talk about manufacturing, we all know that manufacturing in Nepal is undeniable. It is the backbone of any economy, and it drives economic growth, job creation, innovation. Footwear manufacturing in particular plays a crucial role in the economic development, industrial diversification, skill enhancement. So in Nepal, we have 1,500 footwear industries, small, medium, and large, employing more than 50,000 people directly. So that's the direct employment. And indirectly, when you talk about the whole ecosystem, we support almost more than 300,000 people, from distributors to wholesalers to retailers to shopkeepers, to raw material providers, logistic companies, insurance, all of that. When I talk about Gold Star Shoes, in particular, it's a company which has been, it has a legacy of 50 years. We've been manufacturing shoes and slippers, and for the past 30 years, we've also been exporting. So Gold Star Shoes is one of the very few companies in Nepal which is doing import substitution and export promotion. At the current moment, we have around 3,000 people working for us. Out of that, 75% are women from marginalized communities. So we take these women, we train them, and even during the training period, we pay them their due salary, and then we hire them. So through import substitution, export promotion, ever-evolving technological landscape, we always need capital investment. But I feel that manufacturing and shoes, footwear manufacturing is kind of a blind spot for the government and even the investment companies, because there is such a huge potential for footwear manufacturing in Nepal, because we've been doing it for 50 years. We know the technical know-how. We have cheaper labor here, a lot of young people working, a lot of young people who want to stay here and not leave the country and go out. Great weather, growing economy, all of that, but we just need to invest more into manufacturing, into footwear, into the whole ecosystem, I feel. Because we have the bilateral treaty with India, we can export easily. We are in between the two big giants, India and China. India is an open market for us because we have so many open borders, so we can sell in India. We've been selling in India. In 2015, we sold almost 3 billion Nepali rupees worth of shoes, which is almost 25 million US dollars. So there is a huge potential in footwear business, and because footwear business requires a lot of sewing, like a lot of handwork, and we have a lot of women here who are resilient, who are hardworking, who are ready to learn and work. So I think it's a great industry. But when you talk about challenges, that's, I think, the second question. Of course, Okay. So yeah, having said all that, of course there are a few things that if it can be changed and managed, I'm sure the footwear industry can do really well. First, the cost of doing business is a bit too high in Nepal, and I have been talking to the minister, and he's very, very positive that things are going to change now. Cost of doing business, meaning the interest of banks. Bank interest rates are quite high. It's a double-digit bank interest rate, which I know is going down now, so that would be a good positive thing. We are hoping for electricity subsidy and tariffs for manufacturing units because we're paying quite a lot of money for electricity. There are different categories, and I'm hoping that the government is going to look at these industries, especially the footwear or manufacturing, where we hire a lot of people. Raw material prices, because we are a landlocked country, the high custom duties of raw materials is like hampering our production. So if the government can just recognize the difference between trading and manufacturing, and for manufacturing, if they can reduce the raw material prices, then that would really enhance growth. And protection of local industries, of course, because combating illegal trade practices is a must. Because we have an open border with India and China, we really have to be careful about the protection of the local industries. He talked about the export incentives, which is like a cherry on the cake, but providing export incentives really encourages people like us to export, and skill development. So just these challenges, I think by addressing these challenges and creating a conducive environment, the potential growth and innovation success of manufacturing is there.
Thank you, Bidusi. As beautiful as she is, she answered very beautifully. So now let me go to my very old friend from India, Vice President of SAC Chamber. He's Vinod Kumar Anand, and he is the very seasoned banking, professional. He has a long 30 years experience. So a question goes to you like this, Vinod. As a veteran banker, what are some of the major economic changes you have seen in India? And what are the economic changes, and what are the key policies of central and state government to encourage the private sector?
I think Moderator Mr. Pradeep is asking a very prominent question and very interesting question. ये जो question Pradeep ji ने raise किया, ये I think most of us also understand Hindi also, and of course English is there. We can always talk and speak. That is not the issue. इंडिया में जहां तक क्वेश्चन है अभी प्रदीप जी ने पूछा, बैंकिंग सिस्टम में बहुत चेंजेस हुए. 1969 में when Prime Minister Indira Gandhi was there, socialist government, all the banks in India were nationalized. 97% of the Indian banking was nationalized. Again in 1970, 14 banks were nationalized. Again in 1979, five banks like New Bank of India, Punjab and Sind Bank, Andhra Bank, Bank of Maharashtra. So there were two phases of bank nationalization, 1969 and 1979. And another politically important thing आपको सुन के, the election for Indira Gandhi winning Congress party in 1969 was only bank nationalization. Otherwise they were losing. Moment they said all banks in India will be nationalized, immediately all voting turns to the Congress. All people said now bank belongs to us, money belongs to us. तो पूरा गवर्नमेंट का तख्ता ही जो है अपोजिशन से it has come to. So bank has taken a lot of importance in the thing. And again of course the banking comes, then India में एक बड़ी अच्छी बात है कि there is a one banking called universal banking. You need not go again licenses, merchant banker, investment bankers, agriculture. Once you have got a banking license from the Reserve Bank of India, you can do whatever banking you want. आप investment banking करिए, merchant banking करिए, housing finance करिए, industry करिए, एक license लेके. The other important thing, Pradeep ji, I want to, since Honorable Minister is there, banking industry में बहुत leverage है. Leverage in the sense, आपकी बैंक की कैपिटल है 500 crores, example, and you can go up to 50,000 crore deposit. There is no limit. But as far as industry is concerned, since all are business, 1:2. अगर आपका capital 5 crores है, you cannot borrow more than 10 crores. Or it's to 1:5, 1.5. But banking में there is a nothing once you got license, it is your capacity. But another important thing, in India, after the last BCCI bank, British Bank of which was there, not even a single person can say, depositor, that I have lost my money in the Indian banking system. Whether it is a small bank, cooperative bank, or a regional bank, no bank has lost, no depositor has lost even a 1 rupee. Reserve Bank is very proud. Governor was the other day in the 90th anniversary of the RBI. He said, please tell me in this country, anybody has lost even a 1 rupee in the Indian banking, any depositor. मेरा इस बैंक में पैसा पड़ा था, और where you have seen in USA, Morgan and all, biggest bank, but it is a strong banking system, not a 1 rupee is lost. And of course, we have got the regional rural banks, we have got RRB. Recently, banking is on tap. Tap means anybody can go and get a bank. That is a small finance bank. Payment bank. These are the banks which are on tap. You have to just apply. There is of course, due diligence and all will be there, but RBI will not hold. And they are very clear that if you don't get any reply within 60 days from the RBI, your license is granted. Wait for 60 days. If their government is not responding, you please proceed and you can open your branches. So these are some of the very effective changes because they have to do. So I am sure with the new banking system, small finance bank which has come, which is about 10 in India and one more is coming, 11 small finance bank. And I'm sure these banks has been asked to go for universal banking, means anywhere, but they are not very keen. They have been, and all the banks has been told to go to public, go to the Bombay Stock Exchange, you list, you have to be more open, you have to be, you dilute your equity. Indian banking system, nobody can hold more than whether it is Tata's, Birla's or anybody more than 10% except government. And government is also now reducing their equity to almost 25%. So these are the few things I wanted to, as far as the banking is concerned. Again, the last point I will conclude, this particular, who comes first, whether the industry comes or a bank comes. Now, for example, Japanese Suzuki Motor or Maruti Motor came to India. Immediately Sanwa Bank came, which was the main banker to them in Japan. The first industry comes, or bank, or first come bank, and there their clients come. But universally, first customer come, a foreign bank. So these 5 clients has opened a branch in Nepal. So foreign banks will also come, who are their major bank. So these are the few things coming up, and I'm sure banking is a very dynamic industry, and banking has to be customer से जैसा customer ग्राहक चाहता है, bank has to mold. Whether it is a giving housing loan, car loan, automobile, but we have got a very specialized India में 2-3 बैंक हैं बड़े अच्छे. Small scale industries banks should be. They only give to loan to small and medium enterprise. So, okay, I think with this.
Bell आ गया.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Binod. I think we should have somebody from the Nepal Rashtra Bank also, after hearing from Binod, how the Indian government have working. Now, of course, now I have the next panelist, Mr. Anjan Shrestha, who is a senior vice president. After 2 years, you will be seeing him as the president of FNCCI, the business apex body. So he is a very enterprising, leader, business leader. So the question, as you are very much in the FNCCI, let me stick to FNCCI's activities. So what are some of the FNCCI's initiative to bring together Nepal's manufacturing industries for greater advocacy and lobbying? Make it very short and sweet. And also, there's 2 questions as you like to link it, if you can do that. And do you feel that the Nepal industries are adopting and innovating themselves for a digital age. If you can give some examples, it will be nice.
Thank you. Thank you, Pradidai. Chair of this session, Honorable Minister, colleagues in the dais, distinguished delegates. Is it allowed to have make it in bilingual? Okay. But okay, yeah. Okay, thank you. First of all, basically I was preparing as a speech. Later on I came to know it's going to be as a question sessions. So anyway, yeah, okay. First of all, I would like to welcome all the delegates to invest in Nepal. I hope this deliberation has helped you to understand opportunity in Nepal's manufacturing sector. While much has been said already, I would like to emphasize on fact that the potential of Nepal manufacturing sector is yet to fully realized. The Nepal private sector, along with the few multinational industries like Dabur, Lever, has been investing in people, process, and technology in this sector. Having said that, I acknowledge that there are so many challenges. So, landlocked geography is one of the major challenges. Nepal relies on neighboring country ports for importing and exporting goods, leading to increased transport costs and long transit times. These geographical dependencies impact the competitiveness of Nepalese industries. Infrastructure deficits. Inadequate transport infrastructure, including roads and railways, causes delay in movement of goods. This can increase cost and complicate import and export processes. Bureaucratic red tapeism. Complex custom procedures, inconsistent rule applications, and corruption can create business uncertainty and delay good transit. This leads to increased cost and decreased efficiency. Trade regulations and restrictions. Tariff and quotas imposed by neighboring countries limit Nepal access to broader international markets, affecting the competitiveness of its industry. Energy and power supply issues. Frequent power outages and unreliable electricity disrupts industrial production, hindering industries' ability to meet production targets and delivery goods for export. Limit access to market. Due to the geographical constraint and trade barriers, Nepal industry struggles to expand their reach to broader international markets. Access to finance. As Vidushi also reiterated, many businesses, especially small and medium-sized enterprise, face challenges accessing financial resource, limiting their ability to expand and innovate. So I think to overcome this thing, so I will just point out the things only. We have to improve the infrastructure, streamlining the bureaucracy, developing trade agreements, enhance the energy supply, providing financial support, promoting export-oriented policies, ensuring public-private partnerships, conducive business environment, collaborating, and vision. Foster collaboration among industry stakeholders, policymakers, and entrepreneurs. Work towards the shared vision of prosperous and innovative manufacturing sector in Nepal. Basically, the question was what the FNCCI is doing, right? Yeah,
Yes,
basically
I
pointed out some of the issues.
Okay, you
what
can
private
answer,
sector was.
you can answer later on then, okay?
Okay, yeah.
That one, I'll leave it for the second one.
Right.
I think Anjan has, touched the challenges that Nepal is facing, and I think the way he's expressed, I'm sure many of us have understood. Now, after hearing from the four panelists, mostly businessmen, organizations, now hearing from the government side, is also very important. When you're asking what is possible and how much is possible also is one of the things that one has to be looking into it. So this question goes to our Krishna Bahadur Raut, who is the secretary to the Ministry of Industry, Commerce, and he has 2 decades of his, services in the civil servant. So he's a very seasoned bureaucrat and very positive mindset person that I have seen him, So the question goes to you, sir, like this. What are some of the new initiatives being taken by Ministry of Industries, Commerce and Supplies to support the manufacturing industries, including small-scale manufacturing? And also like to ask another question, just keeping track of the time. What are some of the challenges faced by the Department of Industries in this service delivery? Sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Honorable Minister, distinguished panelists and distinguished delegates and participants, namaste and good afternoon. Thank you for your gracious presence in this summit. We all know we are in the period of Fourth Industrial Revolution, which is also known as digital age. The farms and factories are being automated and digitalized through godlike technology. Manufacturing production trends and technologies has been changing rapidly. The old has arrived at ubiquitous connectivity. The uptake of digital technologies is the fastest technological change in the history of humankind. The artificial intelligence and the industrial Internet of Things is creating innovative opportunities in the manufacturing sector in the globe. The interconnections of humanity across the globe enable the sharing of ideas, the enjoyment of diverse cultures, and the exchanges of diverse and distinctive goods across vast geographies. We savor our morning coffee, which arrives not from the coffee shop across the street, but from the sloping tropical hillsides of Ethiopia or Indonesia or Colombia, thousands of miles away. So in this age of interconnectedness, we invite you for investing in the area of comparative advantage and niche products manufacturing in Nepal. Being a youthful country, Nepal has abundant supply of cheap labor and skilled workforce. As distinguished presenter already mentioned, Government of Nepal is creating conducive investment climate through investor-friendly policy and legal reforms, infrastructure development and institutional reforms. Nepal has adopted liberal economic policies and included many free trade agreements as well, concluded. We also have industrial zones and special economic zones in bordering towns and major hubs. Therefore, Nepal has been transformed as one of the ideal investment destinations in South Asia. With this short note, let me answer the specific question raised by our distinguished moderator. As we know, legal and operational reforms, infrastructure development, and strengthening robust supply chain are crucial for the growth of manufacturing sector. In this context, the ministry has initiated several policy and legal reforms related to the industry, trade, and commerce. The Start of Enterprise Policy 2024 has been formulated to encourage innovative and creative entrepreneurial idea for enhancing production and productivity of goods and services in Nepal. Similarly, the operational procedures about providing credit to the startup has been simplified. Moreover, the Government of Nepal has made amendment of 8 investment promotion related acts to create favorable investment climate. Let me allow to highlight the major amendments which are directly related to manufacturing sector. Industrial Enterprise Act, Foreign Investment and Technology Transfer Act, Special Economic Zone Act, and tax laws have provided special incentives and rebate for the investor. Industrial Enterprise Act has addressed the issue of startup enterprises, its registration, provision of contract manufacturing, provision of renewal of energy industries. Amendment in FITA has made further clarifications about provisions in foreign investment and technology transfer, and including the transfer of technology from Nepal to abroad as well. Similarly, SAGE Act has provided more relaxation to the factories operating in the SAGE, like the proportion of export up to 15% within 3 years and 30% afterwards. That is, it is reduced by half, which was earlier. The Land Act has a new provision about the collateral of the land, which is beyond the threshold of the land ceiling. Furthermore, a model framework on BIA has been approved recently. The government has given priority for infrastructure development to have linkages of manufacturing industry to market. The programs related to industrial infrastructure are strengthening industrial zones, special economic zones, and industrial villages. Similarly, 8 ICPs and ICDs are in operation, and 3 ICDs are under construction so as to enhance connectivity. In addition, main national highways are also being upgraded for reducing transportation cost and time as well. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. There is no lock manufacturer manufactures lock without the key, you know. So if there is a challenge, then of course when the lock is locked, you can open with the key. So if there is any challenges, I mean, there are solutions also, you know. I'm sure our Secretary has touched on some of the points. Now going back again to Mr. Harikirat Singh Bedi, he, of course, this is a really good example why I like to again stress on that. Dabur has manufacturing plants in Asia, Middle East and Africa. Can you share the major opportunities and also challenges in Nepal compared to its plants elsewhere globally? And also, can you share a few examples of innovation of Dabur's labor management practices, training, and ensuring that the employees' skills are up to date? You know, he doesn't have to say how much profit they made last year or the year before last year. We're not going to ask the dividend from them, but of course he can share some of the good things that encourages our investors here from outside. Thank you.
In terms of challenges, Pradeep ji, essentially first is the supply chain complexity, because Nepal is a landlocked country, so moving goods through India increases the cost of production. Secondly, there is a sourcing challenge. Raw materials are not easily available in Nepal, so we need to import raw materials. Again, that increases the cost of production because of duties. However, the good thing is in Nepal is that the packaging material ecosystem is evolving, especially in Biratnagar and other places. You have a lot of packaging solutions which have come in, so you don't need to import packaging material to that extent. A third issue of challenge is skilled manpower. That is definitely a challenge, and especially for us in terms of machine maintenance and some of our high-tech lines, we are not easily able to get people to maintain it here, and we have to get technicians from outside. Also, challenge I see in Nepal is vendor support. Nepal is a small country with not that kind of industrialization, so a lot of the global vendors do not set up shop in Nepal. So we have to get vendors, we have to fly them in from Bangkok or from Bombay or Delhi. So that's one challenge. And overall, a lot of Anjanji also touched upon the physical infrastructure like, dry port and electricity issues and so on. So these are some of the challenges, but I think there are a lot of opportunities in investing in Nepal. One of the major opportunities in Nepal has access to both to two big markets, China and India. Obviously, it is better connected to India with open border, so that's a great opportunity there. Second opportunity, I think, is currency volatility. In our, we operate in Africa, we have factories in South Africa, we have factories in Nigeria. There is so much currency volatility there. Here, at least with the Nepali rupee being fixed to the, with a fixed peg to the Indian currency, I think volatility issues and currency depreciation issues are not there. So that's a plus point. also because of socio-cultural ties between India and Nepal, what we see is that at least for senior talent or senior management or for more proficient talent, it's easier to get people in from India because culturally the country, it's pretty similar. So it's not alien. It's difficult for us to attract talent in places like some countries in Middle East, some countries in Africa. So at least that way, this shared similarity and cultural, helps get in senior talent. So Pradeep ji, these are some of the, I think, if I just missed out 1 or 2 points, I think these are some of the opportunities. And for a company like Dabur, the availability of medicinal and aromatic plants in Nepal, we have a big operation in Banepa, greenhouse division. So for us, Nepal is a good sourcing hub for medicinal plants for rare and endangered species. So that goes into our product. So that we have a good opportunity for us also. This is a facility which we don't get in other countries because they do not have these natural and resources like herbs and medicinal plants. So Nepal really scores it. These plants go into a lot of our Ayurvedic preparations like Dawar Chawanprash and a lot of the Ayurvedic medicines that we produce. So this is again, Nepal is very, very important for us there. So
interpret about your, the Dabur, of course, you have so much laborers there, and I think in industries, labor problem is one of the major issues, So can you give a few examples of innovation in Dabur's labor management system that, you are practicing, you're like training or ensuring that employees' skills are up to date?
I think to have a successful industrial relations and to have a successful labor relations for any organization, I think you need to follow to a T the labor laws of the country. I think as an organization, if you're committed to following the labor laws of the country strictly, you will not essentially have labor problems. So if you pay them as per the minimum wages act, though we pay much more than the minimum wages, so I think there shouldn't be a problem. What we see is obviously there is not easy availability of skilled talent. So what we essentially do is we do a lot of on-the-job training and a lot of training in the factories. So that's how we equip the labor. Some of the senior managers or senior technicians or specialized technicians, we send them to India for training. We use Tetra Pak machines for our juices. So we send them to the Tetra Pak facility. And also we bring in Tetra Pak engineers to Nepal to equip them and train them. So I think if you want to invest in Nepal, one has to be very clear that you will have to spend time and money in investing in your people. But once the labor workforce is adequately trained, you will get the returns. I think labor here is as good as labor anywhere else, and quick to learn and quick to pick up the skills.
Thank you, Mr. Bedi. I think he touched this point very well. Now going back to again to Videsi Rana. How do you assess Nepal's manufacturing competitiveness globally, especially compared to SAARC countries and Southeast Asian countries? And also to link, as is upcoming woman, entrepreneur and very well noticed everywhere. In recent years, we have witnessed growth of manufacturing businesses led by women, and especially in urban areas. What are the reasons for this growth, and how can this trend be continued and replicated even in more rural areas?
Thank you so much. So I was just, I knew this question, and I was just doing some research on how we fare with other SAARC countries. So there are a few points that I came up with which can be improved in Nepal, and then we will be we will be as good as anybody else also. Because when we are competing with the rest of the world, we need to be very, very competitive. And that's the problem that we have right now, because our cost of production is high. But like I said, these are things that can be changed, and we could be better. I know that the government is now, opening the CEZ, the special economic zones, in 2 places. And I was just going through what other countries like Bangladesh and India do at the CEZ. And if we can put all that in prospect, also tariff barriers. Tariff barriers can be used to increase the cost of imported products, to make our products more conducive, and to protect our industry. Because Nepal itself, I think just manufacturing in Nepal is enough. We don't even need to export, because we have a huge market here. Though it's a small country, we have a huge population, and just selling here is good enough. But what we need is protection for the country, like how other countries protect. Taking an example of Bangladesh, I looked into the opportunity of exporting to Bangladesh, but Bangladesh has so many rules that prohibit, other importers, especially if they're already making shoes or garments. They have a lot of duty structures, a lot of special additional duties that they take. So there's no way that somebody like us can enter the market there. So if we can have such laws here, even in India now they have the BIS certificate, which is the Bureau of Indian Standards, and without that we cannot now export to India. So if we can also have certificates like the NS certificate and things like that in Nepal, we can then curb other things coming into Nepal. So protection, basically. Talking about CEZ, I just have a few examples. I was just reading this about the CEZ sector in Chennai. Incentives that are provided by the Tamil Nadu state government at Mahindra World City, investing between 5 to 50 crores and employing more than 100 direct workers, would be eligible for a capital subsidy of 30 lakhs and electricity exemption of 2 years. So it goes on like that. If they're investing between 50 to 100 crores, and if they have direct 200 workers, then tax exemption is for 3 years and capital subsidy is for 60 lakhs. And if they're expanding to 200 crores and above, and if they have 400 direct workers, then it would be eligible for a capital subsidy of 1.5 crore and electricity tax exemption for 5 years, so on and so forth. So there are a lot of things that CEZ can do to promote investors and promote manufacturers inside of CEZ. Even like anti-dumping measures that Bangladesh has levied, and so all these things, if we can also do that in the CEZ, like CEZ in Bangladesh. And CEZ in Bangladesh incentive is for 12 years. First 10 years is 100%, 11th year is 70%, and 12th year is 30%. Exemption from custom duty on all imports for development of economic zone, exemption from stamp duty, registration fee, land registration, exemption of stamp duty and registration free loans. I think these are the things that we can incorporate in CEZ just to boost the manufacturing. And these are the things. And even I was just going through the export incentives, which were very interesting, because I was looking at these better and bigger countries who give export incentives up to 20%. So from 4 to 20%, they just look at how many people you are employing, how many, what kind of import substitution you're doing, what kind of export you're doing, and looking at that, they give incentives. So if we can look into that. And on the woman empowerment part, I think women will be empowered if they're economically empowered. I think that's the most important thing. Of course, education is important, but economically, if you have a good education and if you're economically empowered, I think a woman can do anything at all. And so I'm working for a lot of women organizations also. And even in my organization, I talked about almost 2,000 women that I'm employing at the moment. These are women who come from marginalized backgrounds, women who've lost their husbands in the war, women who don't have formal education, but these women are now trained, they're skilled at Gold Star, and they are able to put food on the table, they're able to send their children to school. So, I think economic empowerment is very important for women to grow. And thank you.
Thank you, Bidushi. I think whatever points she has mentioned, I'm sure our secretary has also noted it, because incentive is a must for encouraging the investment, because there are a lot of challenges that Nepalese industries are facing. Now going back to Anjan again, actually the role of FNCCI is also very important because this is an association where the business lobbying and also advocacy. So can you just touch some of the points what FNCCI has been doing like in the past, like what you did?
Okay, FNCCI, we have range of initiatives to support Nepal's manufacturing industry through advocacy and lobbying, advocacy and the policy decisions. We actively engage in pre-budget consultation and policy discussion to ensure that the interests of the manufacturing industry are heard. Our team provides valuable inputs to parliamentary committee to shape policies and affect the manufacturing sector. Dispute resolution. When manufacturing business faces dispute, we step into the help. For example, we were involved in resolving the electricity dues dispute, advocating for a solution that would allow industrial operations to continue without disruption. Collaborating with government. We work closely with the key government offices, including those of Prime Minister, Finance Ministry, and Industry Ministry. This collaboration helps us raise industry concern and push for initiative that promotes growth in manufacturing sector. Investment and business summits. We organize summits designed to foster international partnership and attract foreign investment. This event offers excellent networking opportunity and help manufacturing business explore new markets. Partnership with other professional bodies. To strengthen our advocacy and lobbying efforts, we collaborate with other professional bodies such as CNI, Nepal Chamber. This unified approach allows us to address common issues and push for favorable policies. At the international level, we work with CII, FICCI, CCPIT, ACFIC, Dubai Chamber, etc. Industry studies and research. We conduct studies in partnership with the government and develop partnership to collect data on Nepal's manufacturing industries. These studies help us identify challenges, understand industry dynamics, and explore new opportunities. They also promote industrial goods, governments, and sustainable practices. Our issues and concerns are often heard by government. Thank you.
Thank you, Anjan. Now, coming back to my very old friend again, Vinod. What role has manufacturing sector played in India economic growth, and how can the private? Are you listening, Vinod? This is question to you. And how can private industries in the SAARC region collaborate and work together? Thank you.
Yes, Pradeep, I was listening very carefully to you. Really, your questions are sometimes very knowledgeable and able to understand. As far as the role of manufacturing played in the Indian economy, why Indian economy, I think no economy in the world can sustain or can survive without manufacturing. You cannot survive only basis of your only inward remittance like India and Nepal. We are living, lot of our people who are working, young people are working abroad and their remittances come. No country in the world can only survive on the basis of inward remittance. You have to have a manufacturing base, then only you can survive. Like in India and other countries, whether it is a small, medium, large, or incubable or a new coming industries has to be given. Today you see, I am just asking, today your big neighbors, how they are able to survive in the world. Let us talk, because they have got manufacturing capacity. Today China, nobody in the world can ignore, because they have got a manufacturing capacity. So manufacturing has to play a very important role, and Indian economy, we have as on today, has got 25% of the GDP is coming from the manufacturing sector. But you see the other countries like US, Canada, even Europe, it is coming from above 40%, 45% comes from the manufacturing sector. Japan, China, you know, it is more than 50% of their things come from manufacturing sector. So manufacturing is important. And India, you know, we have given earlier not made in, now make in India. Bharat Atmanirbhar. Everything has to be Atmanirbhar. That is called make in India. Now today, anybody who is big supplier, including recently this Rafale deal, the French aircraft which has come from the very big deal from the French government, it was the biggest import of defense anywhere they have sent in the world, Indians taken, with the condition that within 5 years, 25% of the spare parts and whatever you are doing, it has to be manufactured in India. Then only we'll sign this agreement, and they have all agreed. In Nagpur, already they have started the factory, and the spare parts of all the aircrafts has to be done from this is the way of negotiation, way of having the give and take policy for everybody. Another important aspect, Pradeep ji, in manufacturing which we are thinking is, very important role is your logistic cost. As Mr. Bedi was mentioning, we were earlier in the cement industry, and my colleague is also there. Cement industry, the logistic cost worldwide is coming 17, whether it is a AC Cement, Adani or any other cement company, 17% of your cost is logistic. That is by road, because cement is a very bulky item, and you cannot do it anything for more than 600 kilometers. Moment you cross 600, the other factory which is coming, he will be giving a very good competition. So you cannot do for more than 600 unless and until you got a rail link. But globally, you study 14% is the logistic cost anywhere in the world. If any good industry is coming, and similarly coming finance cost. Unless an industry have a cheap interest rate. Nepal, I would understand, 2-digit interest rate. I don't think any country can survive. We in India exporters were talking to the ministers and all the finance ministers. Worldwide people get 2 to 3% rate. I am talking the US dollar. When you borrow in the foreign currency, USD rate is LIBOR plus 100 basis point, 200 basis point. Then only you can survive, and you export or import. You have to be competitive. There is no item which we are producing or anywhere in the world producing, you are having a monopoly. Anybody can produce cement. It is not that anybody cannot do it. You have a will, shoes, anybody can produce. There is nothing so-called, it is not a technology of high computerized or very worldwide global technology. These are very simple, as she told very clearly in Madras, where we got the Indian shoe industry that have come up. They have got leather institute, they have got, but they are also now improving. So my Atmanirbhar and Make in India policy is very good. Nepal must follow and get some lesson how to improve the Make in Nepal. Make in India and Make in Nepal. This should be the good policy. Thank you.
Thank you, Binodji. Now I have the last question. Well, there are a lot of questions that I was thinking of asking. Pascal, our Secretary for the Ministry of Commerce and Industry is here. Just want to talk about the one window system, one-stop solution. So what do you think about the one-stop solution? How effective is it in the ministry? And what is the policy of the government on the privatization? Has the privatization in the past been successful? Was it right or wrong? And how do you think that the Nepalese industries in the future should be confident that the industries are not going to be nationalized or privatized or anything on that? If our Honorable Secretary can take on this question, please. Thank you.
Thank you. I think the second question is very heavy, but I cannot answer now. But the first one, I think, yeah, there are three major areas of reform to develop the Department of Industry as a center of investment promotion and facilitation. The department has a role to facilitate investors protect and promote the intellectual property rights and promote the manufacturing industry. Government has established one-stop services in the Department of Industry to facilitate investors with representatives of 14 different government agencies in a single window. It has been providing several services including business registration, establishment, approval and repatriation, license renewal, transaction approval, capacity enhancement and classification of company via single window. Likewise, it has been providing concession on tax and duties and rendering other facilities as well. The government is also committed for making investment management information system, IMIS, fully automated and making it as investment-centric portal and developing linkages with the province and local levels, which we have recently launched in this program as well. However, we have some minor issues on coordination with different agencies, which is going to be resolved through proper legislation and institutional arrangement. Capacity enhancement of staff is also one of the continuous process which the department is facing. Likewise, the department has issues like developing and adopting a standard operating procedure and providing logistics. So for the OSS side, Government of Nepal has been working for making the OSS fully functional. Currently, representatives of these 14 agencies are working in center with full-fledged authority from their concerned agencies. Likewise, sorry, I have 1 minute. Likewise, the concerned agencies sending official in deputation with full authority. However, the interagency coordination and creating linkage among the agencies is one of the major concern. We are working closely with different ministries and agencies for improving it. And for the industries, the policies of privatization, I think it has been debating since long time, and many conclusions have been drawn from different agencies like World Bank Group and other agencies. It has mixed result worldwide. In the context of Nepal also, it has not been so happening and good feeling, but we have to rethink it. But the new kind of regulation and the policies should be in place. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We are of course 10 minutes late because we started 10 minutes late also. So I think 10 minutes is acceptable, I believe. We have the QA question answer session from the audience. But just before that, let's give a big hand to all the panelists, and the presenter. I think they have, well, I was a little harsh, I was little not too modest to give them enough time to speak, but I had to do it, and that's the role of the modest. It's a thankless job. Okay? There is a saying that when I can be replaced by we, illness becomes wellness. Okay? I like W-E, I like saying, if I become rich, the country is not going to be. We have to be rich. We have to be prosperous. So on that broader perspective, one has to be looking into it. And one more thing is that Nepal needs the world. World may not meet Nepal. So keeping that in mind, so we have to work on a cooperative way. So now I just like those from the audience have any questions to be answered by the panelist or presenter or me as a normal moderator. The floor is open to you. We have a couple of questions we can take if anybody would like to put on the questions. Look like audience. Oh yes, please, Bajuraji. He's also a SAC Chamber Executive Committee member. Very, very old friend of mine. Not old in the sense that you are not old, but a long time friend.
Thank you, Pradeep. You are also our very, very close, like a family. More than 20 years, I think, I'm knowing you. What I have a small, observation that when any money is being transferred from India to Nepal, it's a big challenge because what I have seen last year, we were doing some work to transfer the fund from India. there was only one bank which is called Punjab National Bank, who was only the bank. If you deposit money there or open an account there, then only you can transfer to Nepal in their bank. But recently I heard that ICICI Bank is also open here. But I think, you should have more banking, facility or banking license or the banking system where the transaction between the two countries can be eased out.
That's very well taken question. And of course, it's not only the Punjab National Bank, we have the SBI Bank and this other connecting bank also. Standard Chartered Bank is there.
But I think SBI is affiliated with the Nepal SBI, something like that? Or?
Yeah, but it's Indian SBI only. It's connected, no? So there's no, there should not be any problem. You let me know what transfer you want me to make. I will arrange that for you.
Okay, thank you. I know.
Not an issue. Bringing money, taking could be a problem.
I'm telling you, Pradeep bhai, when I was doing business with Bangladesh, what was happening, I'm talking about 10, 15 years back, and in every forum I used to say that there is no much correspondence bank between Bangladesh and India. So when anybody is sending payment from Bangladesh, there are hardly any Indian counterpart of those Bangladeshi bank who are having a correspondence bank. So the payment was, made by the Bangladeshi party or the Bangladeshi bank. But there was no facility in the Indian side where the corresponding bank who can pay this.
Thank you. Any more questions from the audience? Looks like all are satisfied. And the investors are surely going to come. Honorable Minister. Where? I don't see. It's behind the pillar, no? Oh, yes. Please go ahead.
Yes, I'm Kapil Devregmi. Any one of you can answer my question. What I see that people either in the blue-collar job or in the junior level job, if they work for 20 years in Kathmandu, for example, or in major cities, when they can think of building a house, buying a car in the given context of the industries, like working in the industries, what age, or how many years they work, they can build their house and have maybe a vehicle or can send their children to the good schools. Any one of you can answer. Thank you.
That could be the dream of every person, Those who are not having a house, of course, would like to have a house or a car if they don't have a car. But where you want to build the house and where you are working is also really going to determine. Of course, my friends, Haribhakta can, I think, answer better than me, because he is a presenter, no? I am a moderating only.
Thank you, Pradeep ji. I think what he had asked is about the overall economic condition of the country. Let me be very honest. There are companies who are paying good salaries to employees. It's not that, let us not generalize that all the employees are not being able to do what you have asked. There are many, for example, in my company, most of the people are very high paid, senior people. They are educated, they are highly educated. And some of the industries are low paying jobs because these are unskilled jobs. So it depends on what type of industries people are working. In general, the land prices in Nepal are too high. So the government has to think about on how to crop the land prices so that each individual Nepalese citizen will have at least an opportunity of having a house, or I would not say an apartment of size that fits to the families they are living. And I also do not believe that every individuals have to have a separate house because we have a different psychology and culture. We need a separate independent house. That is also a cultural problem in our country. And secondly, you have asked her about remittance coming to Nepal. I think it is not because the banks do not have affiliation, but because the regulations. The regulations at central level, for example, the Reserve Bank of India or Government of India regulations are applicable to the banks. So is the case for Nepalese bank. Otherwise, most of the banks are connected mutually. For example, I work with a couple of banks in Nepal. They have, when you send money to India, it's not a problem. And then why the money coming from India is a problem? I think it is the regulation of the Government of India. So what we need to improve is regulations, making it more affordable, more predictable, and more simpler to the people, to the businesses, to the organizations to do it. I probably would request the Honorable Minister to look into in future when they discuss these issues between the two governments, so that more businesses can send money easily to the respective banks. Through the banking channel, it should not be a problem. Anyway, thank you, Pradeepji. I hope I tried to give some answers.
Yes. You know, in life, what you really want will not come so easily, you know. So there are, of course, secret, the opportunities hidden inside every failure. So don't lose hope, you know. So that is how one should take it. Now I think I have to request, I think there's no questions, no? I think all have been satisfied. Oh, there's one more, yeah. So this is the last one, please. The mic, Chalai.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I would like to ask few things. That is actually from the importance point of view, either it is industry or trade, that what importers are getting difficulties regarding the...
Sorry, you said importers?
Importers.
Importers' point of view, not industries.
No, importers' point of view, that they are facing difficulties in detention, demurrage, and all other. And what government is thinking to I can say, to facilitate them, and how the government is planning to overcome this difficulty. I suggest what is the view of the government to set up the FTWZ, Free Trade Warehousing Zone, in this sector to facilitate the importers and industrial sector.
I think this answer is going to directly go to the Secretary of Ministry of Industry and Commerce.
Thank you.
Because something to do with the trading, detention, and the warehousing system.
Yeah, free trade warehousing system.
Is there any provision that the government is looking into it, sir? This is the last one. I hope everybody will agree to that.
Thank you. For the importer's point of view, actually the repatriation issues, I think our existing law is not provided. Only the FDI investment here, we have provision for the repatriation. And for the ICD and ICP, there are, for shortened period, we have go down facility only, not for the all time. Thank you.
I think there are some questions can be answered informally when we are having a cup of coffee or tea, or later in the, I don't know, any cold ice, something, whatever you think. Huh? I hope you understood. Huh? Okay, now before I give the floor to the Honorable Minister, one thing that we have to be thinking that Nepal is a land of virgin, for a lot of opportunities are there. So let us harness together. It's not said that one flower doesn't make a garden, you know. So we have to have many flowers to make a garden. Euta phulle चाहिँ बगैँचा बन्ने होइन. So that's where we would expect my colleagues, especially friends from outside and those who are here. I mean, it's not that everything is smooth here. I don't say that everything is perfect. There's no perfection is there. But there are ways and means to solve it. And there are national bodies are there, our people are here, and we are there also. So now, I would... So may I request the Honorable Minister, who is also a very private sector friendly person, and whoever has met him comes, when he comes out from his office, they come with a smile, you know. So, you know, what is the message that one can take is that he is very positive with the mind. And so I give this floor to the Honorable Minister for giving his remarks and of course guides our team here. Later on, if I have to speak, maybe I think I don't need to speak now. I'm finished now. You know? So thank you very much, guys.
Thank you for that amazing panel discussion. I have a quick announcement. Our Honorable Minister is giving a speech in Nepali, but I will be sharing key highlights in English after his speech. So if you're not able to catch the language, no problem. I'll be sharing the key highlights. Over to you, sir.
यस सत्रका प्रस्तुतकर्ता देउराली जनता फार्मास्युटिकल्सका कार्यकारी निर्देशक हरिभक्त शर्माज्यू, सत्रका मोडरेसनको भूमिकामा रहनुभएका पञ्चकन्या ग्रुपका प्रबन्ध निर्देशक तथा कन्फेडरेसन अफ एसिया पेसिफिक चेम्बर अफ कमर्स एन्ड इन्डस्ट्रिज CACCI का उपाध्यक्ष श्री प्रदीप कुमार श्रेष्ठज्यू, प्यानलिस्टको रूपमा रहनुभएका उद्योग वाणिज्य तथा आपूर्ति मन्त्रालयका सचिव श्री कृष्ण बहादुर राउतज्यू, नेपाल उद्योग वाणिज्य महासङ्घका वरिष्ठ उपाध्यक्ष अञ्जन श्रेष्ठ, डाबर नेपालका व्यापार प्रमुख हरिग्राज सिंह बेदी, किरण सुज मैन्युफैक्चरर्सका कार्यकारी निर्देशक श्री विदुषी राणा, सार्क चेम्बर अफ कमर्स एन्ड इन्डस्ट्रिजका उपाध्यक्ष तथा फेडरेसन अफ इन्डियन चेम्बर्स अफ कमर्स एन्ड इन्डस्ट्रिजका FICCI राष्ट्रिय कार्यकारी सदस्य श्री विनोद कुमार जुनेजा। यस सत्रमा हामीले देशको औद्योगिकीकरण, विकास र समृद्धिसँग जोडिएको असाध्यै महत्त्वपूर्ण विषयमा छलफल गरेका छौँ। औद्योगिकीकरण, रोजगारी सिर्जना, अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय व्यापारमा प्रतिस्पर्धात्मक क्षमता अभिवृद्धि गर्ने, उत्पादनमूलक क्षेत्रमा नवप्रवर्धन, इनोभेसन र वृद्धि ग्रोथ अपरिहार्य छ। खास गरी उत्पादन प्रक्रियामा नवीनतम प्रविधिको अवलम्बन गर्दै उपभोक्ताको आवश्यकता, चाहना र माग अनुसार वस्तु विकास तथा उत्पादनमा सृजनशीलताको अपेक्षा गरिएको हुन्छ। चौथो र पाँचौं पुस्ताको औद्योगिकीकरणको वर्तमान परिदृश्यमा उत्पादनमूलक क्षेत्रलाई चलायमान बनाउन नवप्रवर्तकको भूमिका अहम रहेको हुन्छ। यस सत्रका प्यानलिस्ट विज्ञहरूको यस विषयमा आफ्नो धारणासहित महत्त्वपूर्ण सुझाउनु भएको छ, जुन हाम्रा लागि निकै उपयोगी साबित हुनेछन् र तदनुरूपको अपेक्षा मैले गरेको छु। हामी विश्वका दुई ठूला अर्थतन्त्रको बीचमा रहेका छौँ। आन्तरिक बजारको साथै ती मुलुकको बजार र विश्व बजार केन्द्रित रहेर बृहत लगानी तथा उत्पादन गर्ने अवसर हाम्रा सामु रहेको छ। सोही अनुसार जनशक्ति, स्रोत, साधन र प्रविधिको अधिकतम परिचालन गर्दै बजारको उपयोग गर्नुपर्ने आवश्यकता रहेको छ। यसको लागि अर्थतन्त्रको संरचना परिवर्तन गर्दै प्रतिस्पर्धा क्षमता अभिवृद्धि गर्न औद्योगिक क्षेत्रमा नवीनतम प्रविधिको अवलम्बन, पूर्वाधार निर्माण र दक्ष जनशक्तिको विकास तथा परिचालनमा विशेष जोड दिनुपर्नेछ। प्रविधिको विकासले उत्पादनको तरिका, उत्पादनको स्थान र आपूर्ति प्रणालीमा आमूल परिवर्तन हुँदै आएको छ। उपभोक्ताको चाहना र सन्तुष्टिको स्तरमा केही सोही अनुरूप परिवर्तन हुँदै आएको छ। त्यसकारणले पनि हामीले अनुसन्धान र विकासमा लगानी वृद्धि गर्नुपर्ने देखिन्छ। हामीले उद्यमशीलता, उत्पादन र आर्थिक वृद्धिमा केन्द्रित रहेर उद्यमशीलता, दक्ष र सिपयुक्त जनशक्ति विकास तथा परिचालन गर्नुपर्नेछ। औद्योगिक क्षेत्रको विकास तथा विस्तार गर्न नेपाल सरकारले विभिन्न नीतिगत, कानुनी र प्रक्रियागत सुधार गरेको छ। औद्योगिक व्यवसाय ऐनमा आयकर, भन्सार, महसुल लगायतका कर छुटको व्यवस्था गरेको छ। नेपाल सरकारले महिला तथा लघु उद्यमीहरूको लागि विशेष सहुलियत, औद्योगिक तथा लगानी प्रवर्धन कोष, प्रदेश औद्योगिक तथा लगानी प्रवर्धन कोष, एकल बिन्दु सेवा केन्द्र लगायतका व्यवस्था कार्यान्वयनमा ल्याएको छ। राजस्व नीतिलाई उत्पादन एवं लगानी मैत्री बनाउँदै लगेको छ। नवपरिवर्तनको प्रवर्धन, बौद्धिक सम्पत्तिको विकास र संरक्षण गर्न बौद्धिक सम्पत्ति सम्बन्धी नयाँ कानुन तर्जुमा कार्य भइरहेको छ। विदेशी लगानी सम्बन्धी कानुनमा प्रविधि हस्तान्तरणलाई प्रोत्साहन र पुँजी लगानी कोष स्थापना गर्न सक्ने प्रावधानले नवप्रवर्धनमा योगदान पुर्याउने हाम्रो विश्वास। अनुसन्धान तथा विकासमा लगानी वृद्धि गर्न नेपाल सरकारले चालू आर्थिक वर्षको बजेटमा पुँजीगत खर्चको 1% रकम अनुसन्धान तथा विकासमा विनियोजित गर्न सुरुवात गरेको छ। सङ्घमा बिजनेस इन्क्युबेसन केन्द्र स्थापनाको भएको र प्रदेशमा समेत क्रमशः सो केन्द्र स्थापना गर्ने कार्य प्रारम्भ भएको छ। त्यसैगरी उत्पादनमूलक क्षेत्रमा नवीनतालाई प्रवर्धन तथा प्रोत्साहन गर्न स्टार्टअप उद्यम नीति तथा कर्जा सम्बन्धी निर्देशिका कार्यान्वयनमा ल्याएको छ। नियमनकारी निकायलाई प्रविधियुक्त बनाउँदै दर्ता, नवीकरण, अनुमति र सहुलियत दिने जस्ता सेवालाई अटोमेसन गर्दै लगेको छ। नेपाल सरकारको निजी क्षेत्रको सहकार, मेड इन नेपाल तथा मेक इन नेपाल जस्ता कार्यक्रम सहयोग पुर्याउँदै आएको छ। आगामी दिनमा अनुसन्धान तथा विकासमा सरकार तथा निजी क्षेत्रको लगानी, अभिवृद्धि, नवप्रवर्धनलाई प्रोत्साहन, सहुलियत र प्रवर्धन, सूचना तथा प्रविधि र यससँग सम्बन्धित जनशक्तिको विकास र महत्तम परिचालनमा केन्द्रित हुनुपर्ने मैले महसुस गरेको छु। ट्रिपल हेलिक्स मोडेलमा आधारित रहेर प्राज्ञिक क्षेत्र, निजी क्षेत्र र सरकार बीचको सहकार्यमा नयाँ औद्योगिक वस्तुको विकास तथा उत्पादकत्व अभिवृद्धि गर्न आवश्यक व्यवस्था गरिनेछ। आजको यो महत्त्वपूर्ण सत्रमा उत्पादनमूलक क्षेत्रमा नवपरिवर्तन तथा वृद्धिमा नेपालको विद्यमान अवस्था र प्रमुख सवालबारे विज्ञहरूबाट विचार मन्थन एवं ठोस सुझाव प्राप्त भएको छ। यस सत्रमा भएको छलफल सुझावहरू मननीय छन्। साथै यस कार्यक्रममा नवपरिवर्तन र उत्पादनमा फड्को मार्ने एउटा साझा धारणा निर्माण गर्न सहयोग पुगेको मैले विश्वास लिएको छु। साथै आज मात्रै हाम्रो उद्योग विभागको तर्फबाट अटोमेटिक रुटबाट सञ्चालित लगानीकर्ताको रूपमा आज 3 वटा व्यवसायीसँग, लगानीकर्तासँग हामीले लगानीको अनुमति प्रदान गरेका छौँ। उहाँहरूलाई पनि म बधाई, शुभकामना दिन चाहन्छु। र यो कार्यक्रममा महत्त्वपूर्ण विचारका लागि सबै विज्ञ सहभागी एवं उपस्थित सबैलाई विशेष धन्यवाद दिँदै यो कार्यक्रम औपचारिक रूपमा यही समापन भएको जानकारी गर्दछु। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Here is a quick highlight about the main key takeaways from his remarks. Starting with, the government aims to drive innovation and production by leveraging technology, infrastructure, and skilled labor. It seeks support from foreign investors to facilitate technology transfer and establish capital investment funds. By allocating resources for research and development, the government encourages innovation and supports startups. It plans to modernize regulatory processes to streamline business operations and attract investment. Collaboration with the private sector is crucial in promoting local manufacturing through initiatives like Made in Nepal and Make in Nepal. The government seeks collaboration between academia, private enterprises, and itself to foster industrial innovation and enhance productivity. This is the overall key takeaways from his remarks. Without further ado, we would like to hand over token of appreciation to our Honorable Minister Session Chair, and to kindly do the honor, may I please request Mr. Pradyumna Upadhyaya, Joint Secretary at the Office of Investment Board Nepal, to hand over token of appreciation to our Session Chair, Honorable Minister. Let's support this ceremony with a huge round of applause. Thank you. Now, may I please request Honorable Minister Session Chair to hand over token of appreciation to our esteemed panelist and our moderator, starting with the presenter, Mr. Hari Bhakta Sarma. I would like to request Session Chair to kindly hand over token of appreciation to our presenter, Mr. Hari Bhakta Sarma. Thank you for that insightful presentation. And starting with our moderator, we would like to hand over token of appreciation to our moderator, Mr. Pradeep Kumar Shrestha. जोरदार ताली बजाइदिनु होला यहाँहरु सम्पूर्णले. Thank you for leading the panel discussion in a very amazing and organized way. And we have our esteemed expert panelist, and I would like to request our session chair to kindly hand over the token of appreciation to our panelist, Mr. Krishna Bahadur Raut. May I please request to hand over token of appreciation to our panelist, Mr. Anjan Shrestha. We would like to hand over token of appreciation to Mr. Harkirat Singh Bedi, representing Dabur. And we would like to hand over token of appreciation to our panelist, Ms. Vidushi Rana. And we would like to hand over token of appreciation to our panelist, Mr. Vinod Kumar Anand Juneja. And I would like to request everyone, high dignitaries on the dais, to prepare for a group photo, all of you together, for a group picture. While we are having this group picture, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of this panel discussion. Kindly join us in the closing ceremony of Nepal Investment Summit 2024. There is also some high tea. You can also network with amazing professionals, high-level dignitaries over here. Also, most importantly, there are amazing stalls where you can find Nepal-made products and connect with Nepali startups and enterprises outside. Please pay a visit and look out all these amazing Nepali-made products in our stalls. Thank you so much, everyone. This is the end of the session.